Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today you're going to have two videos. This is the first. We're going through Counting Significant Figures number 2 worksheet. A couple of things that I wanted to say before I go through all these answers. I noticed that some students are not counting zeros if they are in between other numbers. So, like this example right here, this 0 would count. Once you begin counting, you continue to count every single digit, regardless of if it's 0, 1, 2. After you start counting, zeros count. Numbers 1 through 9 count. Okay? I think that's the biggest mistake that I noticed. So here we go. We have number 1 is 246.32. So it has a decimal. So we go from left to right, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 significant figures. The next one has a decimal. We go from left to right. Same thing, begin counting with the first digit, and we keep going. So that has 6. Number 3 has a decimal place, so we go from left to right. Begin with the first non-zero, which is a 1. Count these zeros. 2, 3, 4. 4 significant digits. This one, number 4, is an example of a 0 that does not count. If it is before we start counting, it does not count. So this 0 does not count. However, we start with the 6, 7, 8. So this has 3 significant figures. The next one has a decimal place again, so we're going to go from left to right. Begin with the 1. These zeros count because we already started counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 significant figures. Next, we have another one with a decimal place. These zeros do not count because they are before a non-zero. This is the first digit, that 3. Then we have the 4, then we have the 0. So this has 3 significant figures. Next, we have 14.600 has a decimal. We go from left to right. Begin with the 1 because that's our first non-zero, and everything else counts. So the 4 counts, the 6 counts, the 0 counts, this other 0 counts. So there are 5 significant figures. Next, we go from 0. Again, it has a decimal place, so we're going from left to right. Our first non-zero is this 1, so this only has 1 significant figure. Next, we have one without a 0. So we go from right to left. We don't count these zeros because they're before a non-zero. Our first non-zero is a 7, so we have 1 significant figure. So the next question has a decimal in it. We go from left to right. We start counting with the 3 because that's a non-zero. The 5 counts, the 0 counts, the 6 counts, the 7 counts, the 0 counts. So this has 6 significant figures. Next, we have, again, with a decimal, so we're going from left to right. Our first non-zero is this 1. Then all of these count because we already started counting. So we have 5 significant figures for that one. With our last problem, it has no decimal place, so we go from right to left. Begin with our 1. Each of these count because we already started counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this has 6 significant figures. If after this video you are still having problems, you do not understand everything that I've written, you need to contact me so that you can meet with me in some fashion, whether it be through Hangouts or Google Meets. Because after we count them, we round them, which you guys already started. Then we're going to count and multiply, divide, add, subtract. We use these for about 5 lessons. You need to know. If you aren't understanding, please contact me. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.